Hi, good evening. We're back in the ProjectP bunker here, and we're going to go over some slides of some basics of the ProjectP project and how it fits in with the internet world. ProjectP. The world is changing again. The server is no longer the center of social media or the web. Nowadays, a phone has the same power as a web server. So does a tablet, so does your home computer. So you are really, or you really should be, in control of the internet. You don't need companies like Google and Microsoft and Facebook to enjoy the internet. You actually have so much computing power in the palm of your hand. All these companies out there, there's so many, hundreds and hundreds, perhaps thousands of social media companies, and they all want you to give them their information, and they make money by selling it. That's how they're structured, and therefore anything that you put up in these social media engines is for sale. A lot of it's for free too. Look at Facebook's new search engine. All these companies have also realized, and we're talking about not just the internet companies but also the hardware companies, that the future's in the content. So in the search and the networks that they develop to generate profits for it. Companies like Samsung and LG and Apple will soon be search engine companies and content company, or they will pair up with other companies, whether it be an eBay or an Amazon or Firefox, and companies like Yelp and AOL and Yellow Pages. They will all be part of this conglomerate of companies that wants your data and wants to sell it back to you in another format. These use companies like Google and Facebook have a lot of overhead that they have to pay for, thousands of employees. Therefore, you think what you're doing is free, but they have to pay for it somehow. So they sell your content. They have lots of storage out there. Google has over 1 million servers, Facebook over 10,000 to store the data of all their users. Lots of content, lots of data storage, and they keep stuff historically too. It's not just that they have your storage of today, they have what you did 2 years ago and so forth. So how's ProjectP different? Well, we're peer-to-peer. We say, well, you don't need a server. Your computers that you have now are more than capable enough. In a client-server model, the server is the center. All access, all controls, all data going in and out is through those central controls. They're censored and at the same time sold. In a peer-to-peer, there is no center. You control your own connections, you control your content, you control what you let out. And all the data from one point to the other will be encrypted. ProjectP, the idea is not so different. It's how human beings or animals, other animals, do social media. Ants, for example, they meet each other up, they tell each other where to go, and they talk to each other. They don't have a central brain telling them what to do and where to go, or controlling the flow of information. So ProjectP idea actually comes from nature, organic growth. Another thing that's different about ProjectP versus other search engine and social media type software is that we're built from the portable from day one, not as an afterthought. We're not making an app to run a website. No, the app is the website. The app will make a website. The app will do all the security and all the content and everything else involved with it. And we can all do this nowadays because of the great technology we have available to us today. Far more than anything that we could have imagined even 5 years ago. Nowadays, data centers, CDNs, content data networks, content creators, consumers, and all go through the internet, and there's all kinds of protocols available for moving data, all kinds of data back and forth on the internet pretty freely, and at the same time pretty securely. The fact that Google and Facebook are pretty much unsecured is by their choice, not because there isn't a better way to do it. So ProjectP will connect people and their data to other people and their data directly, not through a central server, and basically builds a web of people who interlink with each other. And we predict it will grow virally as people use it more and more. Now let's take a look at a couple more differences, a few more differences between regular social media and ProjectP. Most social media, like most websites, are HTML based. They're unsecured data. The communication's unsecured. All the data is stored in servers, and the server providers censor whatever data comes out, and they even tell you what it looks like, and they even put limits. For example, Facebook puts a limit on how many friends you can have and how many times you can post, and if they don't like whatever you do, they just ban you and kick you out after years and years of being a customer. ProjectP is different. We're not a website. We have websites, but mainly our program is a direct video app-based system where all the data is encrypted. It's stored in your computer. It's private. You can do whatever you can do and say whatever you want. Nobody can tell you not to say something. Only the people that you've allowed them to even know what you put into your system. And there's no limits as far as how many friends you can have or who you can connect, etc., etc., etc. So it becomes your website, your server, to provide content to your friends, and not just flat HTML pages. No, 3D direct video content. It's a peer-to-peer server system. Initially, we're going to have a server for initial signups, but once you have enough friends, let's say 5 or 6 friends, and those 5 or 6 friends have 5 or 6 friends, it gets to the point where their server is not needed for anything. It just simply becomes redundant, and eventually will be a completely serverless system, whereby the client-server model absolutely requires a server for everything, because everything is on the server, not on your machine at all. The back-end system that we presently have built is built on open source technology using Linux OS, MySQL, Apache Server, and Python and Perl and PHP and some WordPress thrown in there. This will be used as a system for signing up people, helping people, tutoring people, etc., 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 but not for the actual traffic. The actual communication will be point-to-point. Now, many people, for example, who use Skype think it's point-to-point, but in reality it does go through a server, and they have the ability to push ads and so forth to your client. Even though we have that capability also, we are not going to be pushing any advertisement to your client because it defeats the whole purpose of the system. So, our end user app, proof of concept, prototypes are being built. There's another video that shows some of that. And we're pretty much ready to go to the next step. All we need is your help to help free the internet from the server, so you become your own content provider. Thank you, and I hope to get back with you in another video as we progress on the project. Have a good evening.